What's going on, YouTube? So I had a question from a fan of mine. Shout out to Brad Ledar. He wanted to know how to properly smoke tobacco pipe. Well, it's not that complicated. There are a few basic need-to-know rules, obviously. Got the bandana off and my hair out of my ponytail, all combed out, looking pretty rock star sexy. But this here is your basic Sherlock tobacco pipe. And now you smoke a pipe is quite easy. Any flavor of tobacco will work. There's a lot of good places to get pipe tobacco. If you can't find something locally, you can always order pipe tobacco online. They have all kinds of flavors you can get online of pipe tobacco, like chocolate cherry. Take a look at this shag tobacco. It's pretty good stuff. I like this London Export, I believe is what it's called. Yes, London Export is good tobacco, in my opinion. And every pack of London Export comes with papers if you don't have a pipe and you have a roller, or if you can roll by hand. But I can't roll by hand, so I use a roller. But since it's pipe tobacco, just use it in a pipe like so. And see how I packed it down in there? None of the tobacco, none of it was wasted when I packed all the tobacco down in there just like that. Pretty straightforward. You grab a pinch, push it down into the bowl. Now let's say if you go to draw on your pipe and you're not feeling your satisfactory draw. There it is. Grab your pipe tool. It comes with 3 pieces: your poker, your tamper, and your scraper. You take your poker. This is also your stir stick. Let's say, for example, that you pack your bowl 2 times. Check for draw. It's a little tight on the draw. So what we'll do is take the tamper and we're going to poke a hole in the middle of the tobacco, right down the middle, just like that. Now you see up close here how I stuck the pipe tool, just like that, into the tobacco to create some sort of draw. Let's see now. Ah, yes, that is a splendid draw. You're going to want to hold on to your pipe tool because you're going to need that in a bit. But there are 2 methods to lighting your pipe. You can use wooden or cellophane matches, or you can use a lighter. Either way works. There is no written rule in pipe smoking on what method you're supposed to use to light your pipe. Some people will say, well, it tastes better with wooden matches, and well, these aren't wood, these are cellophane. Either way works. You got your main light, your tamper light, basically, and then you're ready to go. So you get a nice even lit flame, and you want to circle the bowl of tobacco, like so. And take your tamper and tamp down all that burnt tobacco, just like that. Let's get a good charlight going on this. Once after I lit it the second time, it started to smoke a little. But like I said, either method works. You don't have to be. I mean, these are more convenient to have than these books of matches, which is how they used to do it before they had, you know, lighters and shit. But they're kind of a pain in the ass to light sometimes. There it goes. You want to make sure your match is completely out before you discard in your nearest ashtray, or just like that. And thus your pipe is lit. Pretty straightforward. It's not exactly rocket science. Now let's say you're going to smoke your pipe and then it goes out. Well, there's ways to rekindle it without using a lighter or match. If you can take a drag on it and slowly exhale the pipe smoke back into the bowl. Sometimes it may not draw like it's supposed to, so there's a lot of things to check with these pipes. You got your stems, of course, and the shank in the bowl. That stem's drawn pretty good. But what about the bowl here? Get down into the chamber of it and poke through the buildup right there, so the bowl has easier access to draw on it, just like that. Okay, let's see if, and you don't have to do this, what I just did, very often, but if you feel like you're not getting draw on your pipe, you might want to check that. And there's your classic lit pipe, so to speak. Another method you can use if you feel like you don't want to waste your lighter fluid or your matches, is you take your finger and put it over the bowl like that, as you go up and down with your finger like that as you draw on it. And what that's going to do is that's going to create a little bit of heat. And all you gotta do is, basically it's like carving the top of your bowl, but be careful, the top of your bowl can get pretty hot. Now, some things to consider if you're going to buy your first pipe tobacco. You want to try something aromatic, like a cherry or a vanilla. You know what I'm saying? Something sweet tasting. But I do enjoy a good cherry pipe tobacco. I do indeed. It's quite delicious. I'll have to do a bit of digging around on payday because I haven't been able to locate. But if you, the various smoke shops around town, I'm sure one of them's gotta have, you know. I could get into like ordering my tobacco online. That would save me a couple extra bucks. And going online like pipesandcigars.com, for instance, or cupofjoes.com. These are two great websites to they'll hook you up with a pipe and some tobacco on which you need to get started. Pipe smoking doesn't have to be expensive. You can get a corncob pipe for $5, pretty much. They don't last as long as a briar, but depending on where you go, your cheapest briar pipe's gonna be like $30 new. But that's standard prices here in town. I don't know about where you live or where your smoke shop's at, but yeah. I picked up this Sherlock at the Cigar Rialto for a pretty good price. And it's a great little smoking pipe too. Nice smooth finish. Another thing to consider when buying pipe tobacco is tongue bite. So let's say you got your pipe going, you're smoking your pipe, the tobacco's tasting great, everything's fine. But then your tongue, the pipe gets too hot, and the spot that your tongue is closest to on the stem is going to get bit, and basically it gets a little hot. The tongue bite is part of smoking a pipe. Pipe smokers, they get used to it over time. They do get used to it over time. That, or you find a blend that you like that doesn't give you tongue bite. Tongue bite is not pleasant, but it's part of smoking a pipe, especially if you're, puffing through your bowl rather quickly. In some cases, you don't want to be in a hurry to finish your tobacco. Let's take time and enjoy it. You notice that a lot of non-smokers will compliment a pipe smoker because of that sweet smelling pipe tobacco. And generally that's what people associate with pipes anyways, well, depending on which pipe you use. But when it comes to pipes, like tobacco pipes, you know what I'm saying, they're generally associated with sweet smells. If you're getting into pipe smoking, another thing to consider is your stem, and you take care of it, it takes care of you. Depending on where you live, I guess, or how cheap you can get it, stems can be pretty easy to replace, or they can be a bitch to replace. And the best way to take care of your stem is not to, if you're going to hold the pipe in your mouth, you don't have to death grip it like, you know what I'm saying? But if you look and see, I'm not clamping down on it super fucking hard, not enough to like leave teeth marks, but it's enough pressure that the pipe stays in my mouth. Going back to the lighters versus matches, to inhale or not to inhale. There is no written rule on pipe smoking that says you have to use matches or that you have to use lighters or that you can or cannot inhale. That is to the pipe smoker in question and their own personal choice. Pipe smoking is just about enjoying the hobby and relaxing, enjoying a fine tobacco, you know what I'm saying? And I've seen how pipe tobacco is made. When they flavor it, they use natural food flavorings like brown sugar, and they'll fill the tobacco in like a whiskey barrel or some shit and let it dry out a little bit, and then they'll put it in a packaging Yeah. And there's the carb method in effect. My pipe went from being dead to being lit again. I suppose if you don't fit the excuse me. I suppose if you don't fit the stereotypical pipe smoker, you might get a couple strange looks. Me, on the other hand, this long hair, these hippie-looking glasses, and spiked collar. And people see you smoking a pipe, they're probably like, what's in that pipe, I wonder? None of your damn business, that's what's in. No, I'm just kidding, it's tobacco, but seriously though. You don't have to be a college professor, an old fart, or a sophisticated types to smoke a pipe. It is just tobacco smoking after all. It's not limited to social class or economic status. Although I've seen tobacco pipes run for thousands of dollars, and I couldn't justify spending that much money on a tobacco pipe. And that's just something that people do to brag to their friends at the country club. Like, oh, I do declare, how much money did you spend on that darn old pipe, good sir? Oh, I spent about $4,000 on it. Oh, I do declare. I don't know. But I'm just saying. I was at the fair one time, and I was smoking some pipe tobacco, and this girl, she come up to me in a Dare t-shirt, and she goes, can I try a hit of that? And I go, yeah, it's tobacco. And I hand her the pipe like this. And she goes, oh, never mind then. She kind of walks away. I wonder what she thought it was, huh? So I was reading, I saw the front page of Casper's paper today, October 9th, 2015. And they said they would be introducing marijuana bills into the 2016 ballots and stuff, which might give chance for Wyoming citizens to vote on legalization. You don't have to smoke it to support it. You don't even have to agree with it. But to sit there and say that soldiers with PTSD are getting thrown in prison because they're smoking pot for their PTSD, how exactly is that right or fair? People keep calling marijuana a drug. It's a plant. The only reason that they call it a drug is because the DEA classified it as a drug. If the DEA didn't classify it as a drug, you'd be calling it a plant right now. But it's still a plant either way you shape it. Starts off as a seed, grows into some green leafy shit. Yeah, if you should so happen to smoke the green leafy shit, now this intrigues me, the hypocrisy surrounding this plant, because the Pope is against cannabis, which I thought was kind of odd considering it isn't the first Bible printed on hemp, and Jesus was reported to have used cannabis in his healing works. The thing of it is, though, YouTube, cannabis has been around a lot longer than Jesus Christ has been. In fact, cannabis was around a good 8,000 to 10,000 years before Christ was born. How about that? In fact, recently they found marijuana on asteroids in outer space. What if aliens are smoking that weed and designing crop circles? They're like, dude, we're gonna get totally baked, and then we're gonna fuck with these humans, and then we're gonna do crop circles, man, and carve into their fucking field and shit, and yeah, it'll mess with their heads. Who knows, right? But do a little bit of research into cannabis before you criticize it. A lot of you are still coming from that reefer madness, marijuana is a gateway drug bullshit. Yeah, marijuana is a gateway drug to fucking Doritos and Starbucks coffee. I mean, let's keep it real here, people. Now, just because someone smokes pot doesn't necessarily mean they eat junk food when they get the munchies. Yeah, some stoners do, but some stoners eat healthy. And as a result, they get high, they eat food that's good for them, and they exercise and shit. Oh, look at that. They have a high metabolism. Imagine that. If you were to exercise and then regulate that exercise by relaxing with some marijuana, and then you get the munchies, eating healthy food, that right there is the secret the diet pill companies don't want you to know, man. I've been using some Tail and Mane on my hair. This is Tail and Mane shampoo and conditioner, and it comes with 2-in-1 in a bottle, and I've been using it, and I like the results that I'm getting with it. And you see my hair has gotten quite long indeed. Yeah. And if at some point your pipe goes out and your nicotine craving is satisfied, you can stick the pipe back in your pocket or set it back in the ashtray and let it cool off, because your pipes will get hot after smoking them for a minute. It's just part of the hobby, if you will. And it becomes a hobby because people will collect pipes left and right. You start collecting pipes, and then all these different types of pipe tobacco, and if you get into it, there's different forms of pipe tobacco. Some pipe tobacco is flaky. Some pipe tobacco comes rolled up in little, like, they look like turds, but they're not. The little rolls of pipe tobacco, you cut them up into pieces. Some pipe tobacco is comes in like little, like, rectangular slices. Yeah. And you know, and you get a good pipe tobacco that smells good. I mean, there's just no greater feeling. When you got these things right here. Now, comparing pipe tobacco to cigarettes, pipe tobacco has less additives than cigarettes do, and it's a lot healthier for you, and it smells better, and it's cheaper. So that being said, you think pipe tobacco will be a more convenient fix. But the thing of it is, smoking a pipe takes a lot more dedication than just pulling one out of the pack and lighting it up. If that makes any sense to you too. I mean, I'll pull a cigarette out of the pack right here, and now you see it. Now you, well, look at that. See that shit? I just had the cigarette in my hand, and then it disappeared, and it did it again. Because this is all this requires, is a lighter and a cigarette. You don't have to pack the bowl, tamper it, you know what I'm saying? There's a couple more steps in the pipe smoking, so it can be a relaxing hobby. And a good smelling pipe tobacco is sure to leave people going, it smells nice, you know. But the cigarette, all you gotta do is free light. As soon as it wants to cooperate. There it goes. Rise, almighty flame. There it goes. My homeboy Scotty's in jail right now, and people are doing everything they can to get him out. And the shit that went down that night was just beyond ridiculous. It is what it is, though. But I like how I can't have people hang out at my apartment and make a video without people accusing me of having somebody live with me right now. And there is literally, as you can see, there is nobody in this apartment but me. Oh yeah, that sexy chopper in the background. Maintaining hair this long takes dedication, YouTube. If you don't comb it out, it gets entangled and yeah. But it's worth it because metal hair is where it's at, you know what I'm saying? It took for fucking ever to grow this shit out. And if it gets to be too much, I can put it in a ponytail. Simple solution. I'm debating whether or not I want to dye it black again. I do like having black hair. Maybe get some green contacts. Ooh. That combination would... that combination, YouTube, that would definitely have women checking me out for sure. They'd be like, ooh, who's he? The only thing you gotta worry about the cigarette is ashing it into an ashtray or whatever. There's a lot less going into smoking one of these than there is smoking one of these. You see what I'm saying? So for the convenience of it, if you just want nicotine, you're on the go, so to speak, it is more convenient to light up a cigarette. Almost definitely. And people be like, oh, cigarettes are disgusting. Yeah, there's a bunch of other shit that's disgusting too. Blowing your nose is disgusting when people do it. Damn it, my rechargeable shaver is not fully charged yet. Weird. I'm clean shaven right now, so I'm not worried about it, but it does need to charge up eventually. Well, anyways, this is KingCobraJFS with another video, and thank you for watching, and I shall see you all later.